I'm Jennifer Johnson, and welcome to our Excel Tip of the Week. Today we're going to talk about working with worksheets. As most of you are well aware, Excel has a workbook, and in our workbook you can have multiple worksheets. Down at the bottom of your workbook is where you can find all of your worksheets. So worksheets are something we create many of, and I wanted to show you a couple of default settings within Excel that determine how many worksheets appear and what font you use by default. To take a look at those settings, we are going to go to the File tab on our ribbon, and once you are in the File tab, navigate to the Options. In the Options area, we are taking a look at all of the settings within Excel, and we want to be on the General selection. And in the General selection, what you can see here is an area called When Creating New Workbooks. So a couple things you will notice. There is a default font that is created or selected for you. There is a default font size. And one of the interesting things is how many worksheets do you want every time you open up a new workbook? So what that means is when you go to File, New, and open up a blank workbook, this will determine how many blank worksheets appear automatically. Most people have this set to 1, 2, or 3. It just really depends on the type of worksheets and workbooks you are creating. But I wanted to show you that little trick because if you are consistently creating workbooks with multiple worksheets, then you can update your defaults and have blank worksheets already available for you. Now, let's take a look at a couple of other things about worksheets. Down at the bottom of our worksheet, if you right-click on your worksheet name, you can do several things. First off, you can rename the worksheet. I highly encourage you to name your worksheets something that makes sense, that helps the user know what the purpose of that worksheet was. Another thing you can do is you can change the worksheet tab color. A lot of times as you have reviewed worksheets or where you want to draw attention to a worksheet, you can change the tab color to focus somebody's attention very quickly. Another thing people think they can do is they can hide a worksheet. So let's take a look here. I have two worksheets within my workbook. If I right-click and choose Hide, one of those worksheets is hidden from view. But that worksheet can very easily be brought back to life by right-clicking on the remaining worksheet and choosing to unhide. You will then see an option of all of the hidden worksheets that you want to make appear again, and you would just select the worksheet you want to appear and say OK. And finally, a question I get a lot is, how do I move or copy worksheets from one Excel workbook to another? So let's take a look at that feature. In Excel, I have my original source document. So I've got this listed here that says this is my source workbook. I want to move this worksheet to another workbook. I can choose to either move it completely or to copy it. If I choose to copy it, that keeps the original in its original space and places a copy in a new destination. So let's see how that works. I'm right-clicking again on the Worksheet tab, and now I'm going to choose Move or Copy. What Excel is asking you is, well, where do you want to move or copy it to? I'm going to select the drop-down here and choose the Destination Workbook. So I'm going to choose a destination workbook. That is a completely separate Excel file. And then once I have that file selected, I can choose where in the order to place my worksheet. I'll move it to the end, and then I can choose if I want to create a copy, or if I do not select this, it will just be moved completely. Let's choose Create a Copy just to see what that looks like, and we'll say OK. So now you can see I am in the Excel file called the destination, and this is the worksheet that I copied in. Because I chose copy, let's go back to the original workbook and make sure that the original document is still there. Returning back to my source workbook, you can see that the original document is still here. If I had chosen just to move it, then this document would be gone completely and would only appear in the new destination workbook. So those are a couple things with working with worksheets, learning how to manage your defaults, renaming it, setting your tab color, and then moving or copy. Thanks for joining me this week on our tip of the week.